Thank you so much for watching our presentation and learning more about our business, Evolve Learning Services. Today, we'll be talking about the hidden curriculum that we use for all of our clients when the nervous system learns, uncovering the hidden curriculum of safety and confidence.
My name is Maya Doherty. I recently graduated from Toronto Metropolitan University with a master's degree in early childhood education, where my research really just centered on connection and safety and researching how kids truly learn. And I've spent years working within the school boards and daycare systems, and it was truly there inside the classrooms that I discovered how deeply passionate I was about working one-on-one and in small groups with children. So yeah, that passion eventually led me here, where I am now co-founder of Evolve Learning Services with my beautiful partner, Cass.
I'm Cassandra, and I graduated from Carleton University with a degree in child studies. And from there, I worked at a few different ABA centers across Ontario. And I also worked as a behavior technician at the school board. So I feel like working in a few different settings within the same field really gave me some good insight as well as valuable experience. And that really helped narrow down what our values are at ELS. Because of course there were some things I agreed with working in the ABA field, as well as some things I didn't really agree with. So yeah, I just feel like with the experience that Maya and I both have together, it just really complemented how we integrate that into our curriculum here at ELS. So now we'll talk a little bit about who ELS is, or Evolve Learning Services. So ELS is a neurodiversity affirming education agency, and we work primarily with neurodivergent children, teens, and young adults. And most of our clients are on the autism spectrum, ADHD, dyslexia, or other learning differences.
Our philosophy at ELS is truly simple. When children feel safe in their bodies and in their relationship, that is when curiosity and connection and learning naturally follows. And truly, we see this every day. We are so privileged to be able to see this every day, that when a child feels grounded and connected and welcomed exactly as they are, their whole system becomes more available for learning.
So now talking a little bit about our lens, we believe at ELS that every behavior is a signal. So there's a reason behind the behavior. So usually behind every action is communication, a need, and or nervous system asking for safety. So our work is guided by neurodiversity affirming practice and the lived wisdom of neurodivergent voices. So we work with neurodivergent people across various age groups. So we listen deeply to their lived experiences, we reflect often, and we honor each child's authentic way of being. And we bring that into all of our sessions, into all of our programs that we create, and into all of our service plans as well.
Our services that we are currently offering. So essentially, all of our services come back to the same foundation, which is safety and truly seeing children for who they are as already whole beings is so deeply important to every single human that works with us at Evolved Learning Services. So our one-on-one academic support tutoring really blends regulation with academics. We also support clients with executive functioning, so helping them understand their energy and their patterns and just kind of what makes tasks feel possible for them. We offer ABA supervised tutoring, which is BCBA supervised, and it is fully aligned with our neurodiversity affirming approach, of course, which is how gentle and relational we are when we are working with our clients. And that is also OAP approved. So if you have the Ontario Autism Program funding, you are welcome to use that with us during that service. And one of our services as well that we're really excited about, because we have just hired somebody on our team who is a sibling herself. She has two autistic siblings at home, and truly her lived experience has been invaluable to us. at the moment, as I'm sure kind of makes sense. It's just been really, really beautiful. As well, our regulation sessions, so whether that be one-on-one or in group settings, it's just a really great chance for children and for our clients to understand the importance of safety and to really feel those feelings. And kind of once we start to practice that, that's when they're able to incorporate that more so into their own lives. So we're really excited about our regulation sessions, and we also support parents as well, offering guidance, co-regulation, and just kind of like a shame-free space to be able to understand their child a little bit deeper.
So, on the agenda today, we are going to be talking about the hidden curriculum, safety as the foundation for confidence, co-regulation, and then ELS in practice. So, what our sessions look like, etc.
So, the hidden curriculum, something that we have truly noticed, and I'm sure other professionals in the field notice it as well, is that children are never only learning the academic side of things when they're learning in a classroom setting. They are also at the same time learning their experience around what they are learning. So, what exactly do I mean by that is that they're experiencing and kind of taking in the tone of the room, what that feels like to them. Their brain is trying to figure out if it feels safe or not based on past experiences of being presently in that environment. And that is truly what we call the hidden curriculum. Like, the overall experience and the nervous system that really shapes how much of their brain is actually available moment by moment for learning. And polyvagal theory really gives us the language to what we have been experiencing and seeing at Evolved Learning Services, is that when kids feel safe and connected, the neural pathways that support engagement and attention, those and flexible thinking as well is one. All of those things just become more accessible. They become more readily available. But in that same sense, when children are feeling pressure or uncertainty, some sort of fear in some way, shape, or form, their system shifts into protection. So then now they have that reduced access to their higher brain circuits, which is, including the prefrontal cortex that supports planning and focus and reasoning as well. And honestly, that is where we have seen the biggest shift at Evolved Learning Services. When we take that time to co-regulate with each and every child that walks into our environment, to let the child arrive into the room, truly everything that follows comes with so much more ease, right? The idea that they come towards learning naturally because it feels safe in their bodies. So when we think with the hidden curriculum, what we're truly doing is we're talking about the emotional tone that we're creating. And that emotional tone then truly becomes the foundation for everything that child is able to do in that moment.
So now, looking at safety as the foundation of confidence, we are going to be looking at the myth of achievement-based confidence, the science behind it, and then also what we mean by connection over correction and what that really means for ELS. So when we think about confidence, we often imagine achievement. So if I get an A+ on this test, then I'll be confident. Or if I get all of the questions right on my homework, then I'll be confident. But something that we have noticed at ELS is that confidence isn't always built through success. It's built in those really tiny moments when a child feels safe enough to try, even when they know that they might get it wrong. So that's something really important that we take into account while working with clients. We always make sure that they're comfortable and that they know that even if they make a mistake, we're going to work through it together. We're going to use that connection that we have and really just build on our connection overall. So now we'll talk about the science and why safety unlocks confidence. So the learning and threat systems are very closely linked. So when a child feels any sort of danger, like embarrassment, pressure to perform, fear of disappointment, that leads to an activated part of the brain, which kind of decreases the executive functioning skills. So the brain kind of shifts into protection mode rather than being in that safe nervous system mode. And a safe nervous system supports focus, curiosity, and flexible thinking. So when a child is in that protection mode, it's super, super hard for them to feel safe and want to learn and want to try, even though they might get it wrong. Which we have noticed builds confidence in learning. So, yeah, that's a little bit about the science behind it. Now we'll go into connection over correction and what that really means at ELS. So, as I was kind of saying before, at ELS, our clients have learned that they can get things wrong and still be safe. So, we believe at ELS that that is the foundation for real confidence. And they know that the connection that we have will not disappear when things get hard or when they get things wrong. So, of course, we still correct. It's how we correct. So instead of saying, oh, that's wrong, or you got that wrong, we'll say, let's look at that together, or let's take a deeper look at that together, and we'll work through it. No problem. So that kind of approach has really been successful for our clients.
The importance of co-regulation. So something that I'm sure we've all noticed in our work is how quickly children pick up on our own current state. So our current state, our tone, our facial expressions, how grounded that we are, their nervous system truly responds to ours instantly. And because of that, co-regulation becomes less of a strategy that we use at Evolve Learning Services, and more so this non-negotiable environment that we create. And we see constantly through ELS that when we arrive to our sessions regulated and anchored, and we truly feel that difference in connection. And again, in that other hand as well, when we're rushed or tense or carrying a lot of energy that may not be ours from different sessions or what have you, children also feel that too. So this is never about blaming or judgment or being too busy or to this or to that. Truly, this is just simply shedding light to how sensitive and responsive children truly are to their emotional climate that is around them. And that is also why we take our own regulation really, really seriously. We've all heard the analogy in the plane of put your own oxygen mask on before you help somebody else. And I think that this really rings true with when we're thinking with supporting clients, right? Caring for yourself so that you can support your clients through co-regulation is something that we have observed so clearly as a beautiful safety net for our clients. And over time, co-regulated safety becomes something that the child internalizes, and then they begin really recognizing when they need a pause, and they take that ownership of their regulation in small and big and beautiful ways as well, because we modeled safety consistently to them. And I think that is just such a really important and beautiful lesson for all of us to kind of remember and see how we can think with it when we are in the field. So when we talk about co-regulation, we're really talking about the climate that we create. It's the idea that our presence is truly part of the learning environment. And when that environment feels calm and steady, and safe as well, right? Children can step into learning with this completely different level of confidence and openness that we value so deeply at Evolve Learning Services.
So now we'll take a look at ELS in practice. So everything we've talked about, like the safety, confidence, co-regulation, that is the core of how we support all of our clients. So we'll look a little bit at the mission in action. So everything we do is based on nervous system state. And an example kind of just popped into my head of one of my clients. I've been working with them for about 4 years now, and they really struggled with emotional regulation. Not so much in the one-to-one setting during our sessions, but it was something that was happening at school. So we worked really hard together to identify our emotions, name our emotions, noticing within our body how that feels when we're feeling each emotion, and then also the cues that our body gives us. So he's been working so hard, and now he can pretty frequently name all of his emotions. He's still working on it, of course. I think we all are. But yeah, it's just turned into, I think, also a lesson of self-advocacy, because now he can, tell his parents or tell me or tell his teacher, like, you know what, I'm feeling this is what I need right now. So that has been really special to see. And all of our educators at ELS are trained to notice regulation. So what does this child's body need to feel safe enough to learn today? So it's kind of funny when you think about it, that we're an education company, but if a child comes in dysregulated, education is kind of, or all the academic aspect of it is kind of pushed to the side for a second, because we, of course, believe that emotional regulation and a child feeling safe and a child feeling, good before we start academics, that is the most important thing. So even if it takes 20 minutes out of the session, it's a win in our book. So that's kind of the mission in action there. And then what it feels like at ELS. So when you walk into one of our sessions, you'll notice it right away. The tone is very calm, it's relational, it's playful, and our clients would be doodling, or we'll be joking around or laughing. So that has also been really successful for all of our clients. Just bringing that fun aspect and bringing that happy aspect into learning has been really, really beneficial. And then collaboration with clinicians. So we're honored to partner with therapy teams like yours. And our belief is that learning isn't just about academics, it's about belonging and feeling safe, and really getting that connection with the child and the educator. And together we're building a world where safety and confidence are the foundation of learning. So thank you so much for having us, and we can't wait to talk more in the future. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you can always reach out to Mai or I, and we would be happy to have a chat. Thank you so much.